while since I've been live. It's been a while since I've done any kind of video. Said, just been busy, work, life, everyday things. So, with that being said, I don't stay gone for too long, but like I said, life happens, alright? So, with that being said, let's talk about some things that are going on, some things that people are mentioning, and go from there. Alright, so first thing I want to talk about is we lost 200 Marines today due to the vaccine mandates. Now, that number, honestly, it will go up, but it does show one thing. It shows that, these Marines will, and these soldiers, and everybody in the military, anybody in law enforcement, anybody that's in the first responder field knows that their ultimate goal is to protect their home, where they live, where their family lives, where children live, and where their community is, alright? And again, whether that's law enforcement and you want to take, drugs off the street, criminals off the street, people who do crimes against children, want to take them off the street, whatever the case may be, you want to help your community, alright? Same thing with law, EMS and firefighters. You want to be able to, help people in the time of their need. Same thing with military. You want to keep terrorists over there. You want to keep them off of American homeland, alright? And y'all put y'all's lives at risk for that, alright? Same thing with nurses and doctors. Y'all are out there every day treating patients. Whether it be from heart attacks to gunshots to broken bones, whatever the case may be, y'all see a lot of stuff that most people do not see. Alright? But all y'all are being under attack right now due to this vaccine mandate. And with that being said, why are so many nurses and doctors saying that it's not that serious? You got people in Africa saying that it wasn't that bad. But yet, in Israel, they're on their 4th booster shot, and yet they're seeing the highest number of COVID cases yet to date. So to me, that is very concerning. If I lived over there, or if I was even thinking about going over there, why is it that y'all have one of the highest vaccination in the world, but yet y'all have the highest number of cases? If the vaccine is supposed to stop it, why y'all not on your first, not your second, not your third shot, but your 4th shot now, alright? And yet, y'all still have the highest number of cases. Alright, and the same thing here in the United States, right? Look at Chicago, look at New York City, look at Boston, look at Los Angeles, alright? Alright, all these places here require vaccine mandates to go into restaurants, for example, alright? Go into gyms, movie theaters, alright? But yet y'all have the highest number of cases. Exactly, Kimberly. It is scary, but it's not going to stop. You just got to go and hope for the best. But, these Republican-led states are doing better. These people that are not requiring the vaccines are the ones that are doing great. Look at Florida. Florida is a perfect example. Texas, South Carolina, perfect examples of not requiring vaccine mandates. And we're doing just fine, alright? And all these numbers that they come up with, alright, like my state had 5,000 cases yesterday. How do you get these numbers? Where are these numbers coming from? And you say you have 10 deaths, but you don't know the ages of these people that died. How do you not know the age of the people that died? And then you're not even going to put the date that they died. So you're not going to put the date or the reason that they died, but you're going to put it under a COVID article. So you're telling me it could be from 10 years ago, yesterday, 8 years ago, or it could be today, it could be from whatever. It may not even be from COVID. Yeah, the mask thing is just stupid, honestly. The mask does nothing, in my opinion, alright? all it does is weaken the immune system. In my personal opinion, I think the mask weakens the immune system, and that's why I'm not doing it. Alright? Like I said, I'm not taking the shot, I'm not wearing the mask. As simple as that. Now a lot of people have asked me, what about eating? What do we do if we want to eat? Well, obviously, if you're in a Democratic-led state, you cannot go out to eat right now. But let's look at Republican states, alright? So let's look at places that don't require vaccine mandates, alright? So, you can still go out to eat. You can still go to restaurants, still go shop. But eventually, all that's going to change, alright? We all know that's going to change. So, what do? Alright? You can either bow down to the government or you can learn to live on your own. Alright? So, best thing I can recommend is guns. Alright? You're going to need to learn how to hunt. Alright? Because obviously they're not going to let you go into restaurants. You're not going to let you go into grocery stores. Alright? Stockpile on food is another great thing to do. And I see people do it all the time. Even here in the South, people are doing it. People are stockpiling on food because they're scared. And that comes with problems in itself. Alright? So, if you want to stockpile on food for you and your family, that's fine that you want to take care of you and your family. But make sure you leave enough for other people. Because I can see it now where there are problems inside grocery stores where people cannot get the food. Alright? There's shelves that are empty. There are prices are going up even though the shelves are empty. They can't get product in. Truck drivers are cutting down on trucks. I'm not talking about like little small chain grocery stores. I'm talking about big chain grocery stores, even like Walmart. They cannot get trucks in because of what's going on. So again, if you want to stockpile now, that's fine to get you and your family what you need, but be mindful that there are other people out there that need to get food also. But again, being on your own and learning how to hunt and stuff like that is, to me, the best option. So, another thing that people are talking about is what's going to happen in 2022 as far as midterms go. So, a lot of people think that COVID's going to be gone by midterms. And whether that's true or not, I don't know, alright? Because Biden is completely gone. Kamala Harris is completely gone. None of them can answer any kind of questions. Alright, just like here, Kamala Harris struggles through a question on inflation during CBS interview. Biden's only allowed to answer questions if Jen Psaki says it's okay for him to answer questions. Like she said a couple weeks ago, that he'll be taking questions depending on what you ask him. So, it shouldn't be what kind of questions we ask him. It should be, yes, he will be answering questions. Because, as the President of the United States, you have a job, alright? And that's to inform the American people of what's going on and to lead the country, alright? And you haven't done either one of those jobs, alright? As far as leading the country, you have drove the country so far into crime, into this fake virus, and into everything else that it might be too far to even come back from, alright? And as far as answering questions that the American people have, you haven't done that at all. Most of the time you just walk away, or you have reporters ask you, what your favorite ice cream is and stuff like that. Stuff that has no meaning or no value. And you still haven't said anything about the 13 troops that were killed in Kabul. Alright, and that was what, 5 or 6 months ago, and you still haven't said anything about that or what you've done. Alright, what you did do though is you sent an airstrike that killed 7 innocent children and an innocent man, and you still haven't apologized or offered condolences to that either. But nobody's talking about that either. So, again, our country might just be too far gone to even come back from stuff like this. As sad as it might, it might just be too far gone, alright? So, Another thing that is going on, like I said, crime. Alright? Now, I know this is Seattle, but it's not just Seattle that's doing stuff like this. Alright? It's everywhere. It's happening everywhere now. Alright? So, two stories out of Seattle that I want to talk about. First one is going to be about Washington state lawmakers introducing a bill that would reduce penalties for drive-by shootings. That's right. But the reasoning behind it is even stupider than what they're doing it for, right? So, Washington state lawmakers introduced a bill this month that reduced penalties for drive-by shootings, which with the aim of promoting racial equality. That's right. So they want to drop crime or time in prison for drive-by shootings to promote racial equality. So that right there is racist. Alright, so if I was a black person, alright, and I was reading this, like, what makes you think that it's a certain race, alright? And everybody knows racial equality, all of 2020 and all of 2021 was all about black people. So if I was a black person and I read this, wouldn't that offend you as a black person? As you know, it's about black people because all of 2020 and all of 2021 is all about Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. That's all you heard. So, with that being said, the bill introduced by Democratic representatives, of course, Tara Simpsons and David Hackney ahead of the state's 2020 legislative session will eliminate drive-by shootings as the basis for elevating a first-degree murder charge to aggravated murder in the first degree. But that still carries a mandatory life sentence of imprisonment. Exactly, Kimby. That's exactly right. Evil now, it seems to be good, and good is evil. So, this still carries a mandatory first-degree life imprisonment, supposedly, is what they're saying. Now, the aggravating factor that the bill will eliminate reads the murder was committed during the course of a result of a shooting where the discharge of the firearm is either from a motor vehicle or from the immediate area of motor vehicle that was used to transport the shooter or the firearm. Alright, so Representative Simkins, who represents a district in western Washington, argued that it's clear that it was targeted against a predominantly young and black. Like I said, what I tell y'all. Predominantly young and black. So that right there tells you that it's a racial bill. Like, they're sitting there telling you that, hold on. Alright, so they're sitting there telling you that it is a young and black group that is targeting by these crimes. Alright, so goes on to say, I believe in a society that believes in the power of redemption, she told Fox News. Murder is murder. Alright, so she goes on to say, murder is murder. No matter where the bullet comes from, but locking young people up and throwing away the key is not the answer. Alright, so, with that being said, you just said murder is murder, no matter where the bullet comes from, but locking up young people and throwing away the key is not the answer. Then what is the answer? Because to me, it should be eye for an eye. If you kill somebody, you should be killed, alright? If you shoot somebody, you should be shot. If you stab somebody, you should be stabbed. Alright, and to me, that would stop a lot of this crime. I personally do believe that. Alright, if you run over 60-something people, you get run over. Alright, that to me is how you stop crime. Not, oh, well, this is a predominantly young and black group gangs that are being targeted by this, which a representative of a district in Washington said that. A representative said that. Alright, and then you go on to say that throwing away the key is not the answer, but murder is murder. Okay, so, like, I don't get it. So, there's an instance here in which one person that they are trying to outline. No. Kemani Carter, who was part of a gang since he was 11 years old, played a role in drive-by shooting in 1997 at the age of 18. Had left college student Corey Pittman dead and 2 others wounded. Alright, so he received 777 years in prison. So, she goes on to say if he had been standing outside the vehicle at the same time, he would have faced 240, 320 months in prison. Instead, he was sentenced to life in prison with no opportunity for parole because of this law. Alright, so either way, he killed somebody, is what you're saying, right? Murder is murder no matter where the bullet comes from. So he wouldn't have faced 240, 320 months in prison. He would have faced life in prison, which is 25 years to life, not 240 to 320 months. So, if this bill does actually get passed, there's a possibility that this person will be freed from prison. Now, they said that he changed his life around and all that, but, they always change their life around after they get convicted of crimes like this and they want to be let out of jail. Alright, so the next thing out of Seattle, let's see here. So, this Seattle bartender was attacked for shoving a broomstick after asking for a COVID vaccine card. Nobody cares about that. That is going to continue to happen because people are fed up with this. Alright, people are fed up with these mandates. People are fed up with, the people trying to take over their lives. Alright. So, next thing going on to, I told you I was talking about the Denver gunman. Now, supposedly, he wrote out his book that he was going to do, and he acted off of this book. Now, the gunman has been identified as Lyndon McLeod, 47. Now, like I said, in 2018, he published 1 in 3 novels of each character who carried out a murder at an apartment complex, similar to the one that he did. Now, as far as the officer that was there, I'm going to try and get in touch with her to do an interview with her, because I think what she did was great. She shot this person even after she got shot. Hey Dave, how you doing? So, again, her bravery was outstanding. And again, she got shot, and then she still went on to take out this person that was actively shooting at random people. So again, if I could get in contact with her, I'm going to definitely see if she wants to do an interview. Or, if I can find some way to get in contact with her, obviously, it'll probably be at least a month. I'm not going to contact her right now, obviously, because she's still in the hospital. She went through surgery, but she is expected to recover. But I want to let her recover and get her mind straight before I bring her on to this. But again, if I can get in contact with her, that would be great. Because her bravery was outstanding, and I do believe that she may save many lives. She could have easily just laid down, said, alright, I'm out of the fight, he shot me, I'm done. But she kept going, and again, she saved many lives in that regard. So, next thing is about a California man. Everybody's talking about this, and, I'll go through it real quick just because everybody's talking about that. Me personally, I don't see the big deal about it. And I want to put this out there before I read the story. Whatever you're in, alright, if you have any kind of social media presence, whether you are a president, a representative, a Democrat, Republican, conservative, if you have any kind of following on YouTube and in the thousands, alright, you don't even have to be in the thousands, but let's just say if you're in the thousands, alright, you're going to have people that threaten you, you're going to have threats made towards you and your family, alright. Trump had threats made towards him, I've had made threats towards me, Biden's had threats made towards him, I'm sure other presidents have been assassinated. So, I don't know why everybody's really ramping up on this. But I'm going to go through it real fast anyway, since everybody was talking about it. So, California man had a rifle, and he was on TikTok. He had a TikTok hit list naming Biden and former presidents on the way to the White House. So, As far as his background goes, he was a grocery store worker. He was recently fired, so I don't know if that has something to do with it or not. But either way, he was arrested in Iowa last week after he was found with a TikTok hit list filled with one of the names of political and public figures, including Biden, former presidents Bill Clinton, and Barack Obama. He also had Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg on there, Dr. Fauci on there. Now, he said it was in a plan to combat evil demons in the White House. Now, his name, I'm probably going to say it wrong. Kachwa Brala Izing. I'm sure that's probably not even close. Anyways, he's 25 years old. He was taken into custody on December 21st following a traffic stop in Cass County. A sheriff's deputy initially stopped him for speeding, driving aggressively, and weaving in and out of traffic on Interstate 80. During a search of the vehicle, Sheriff Sergeant Tyler Shields found an AR-15 style rifle. He admitted to possessing beforehand loaded magazines, boxes of ammunition, medical kits, body armor, food, and cash, according to a 6-page criminal complaint filed by the Southern District. Let's see here. Alright, so he also had the White House address on a GPS device. Police said the vehicle looked very lived in, and that he noted he had been fired from his job. He said he was traveling to see things because it is unknown how long he has here on Earth, and that a hotel in Washington, D.C. would not be necessary. He also made several statements, including his disapproval for government due to sex abuse of children, and that cash was earmarked for funeral expenses. Alright, so he was taken into custody and then questioned by the U.S. Secret Service. Court records said he believed that he was the only person remaining who can free the United States of evil, and it's necessary for him to kill those in position of power. Alright, so again, he had a TikTok hit list of 100 videos. Let's see. Authorities said he would kill Biden unless he complied with the unspecified demands. His plan to get into the White House consisted of a weak spot he identified during research of the alleged attack. He planned to use a grappling hook to climb over the perimeter fence and gain access into the building. An effort to kill those on the list. Alright, when in the interview, he stated nothing would stop him from carrying out his plan of gaining access to the White House and killing the persons on the hit list. He had that if released from custody, he would immediately resume traveling to the White House and Washington, D.C. and do whatever it takes to complete his plan. Alright. He further stated that he had no intention of returning to California to see his family because he plans on dying while fighting evil demons at the White House. Alright. So, with that being said, there was a person who sent ricin, which is a drug, to the White House while Trump was in office. That was intercepted by Secret Service. But again, like I said, whether you are any kind of social media, whether you were out there, no matter what you do, you're going to have people that dislike you. You're going to have threats made towards you. And, that's just the life that you live, alright? And again, there are people that have come up to me in public and said that they either like my channel or don't like my channel, alright? And that's fine. You have the right to do that. But as far as threats go, that's a whole nother level, alright? So, let's see here. Next thing I want to talk about is going to be out of Washington, D.C. Alright, so D.C. Mayor says students must prove negative COVID tests before returning to school. Alright, so D.C. is one of those states that is already requiring vaccine mandates to go inside of restaurants, inside of gyms, movie theaters, any kind of entertainment centers. Alright. So, she announced Wednesday that students in district may not return to school on January 5th unless they can show they have had a negative COVID-19 test. All students and staff are required to provide proof of a negative COVID-19 test. She went on to explain how parents can obtain the necessary antigen tests, the results of which they must upload to a government website that logs their names and addresses. Alright, so that that's the first time I've actually saw that. That puts me at a loss of words, alright? So not only do you want them to take a test, you want them to load this to a government website that logs their names and addresses. Why would you want that? Why would you want the government to track your every single move, know your name, know your address, which they already know that, but you're putting this information out there publicly, alright? You want, she literally wants you to take a test, alright, and whether it's negative or positive, they want you to upload this to a government website that logs their names and addresses. Why would you want that? Why would you want that as a option? I don't get it. Alright, and even here it says browsers has been facing backlash after announcing in a tweet last week that proof of vaccine will be required at restaurants, bars, nightclubs, indoor entertainment facilities, gyms, and indoor meeting establishments effective January 15th. But this is not the only state that's doing it. LA's doing it. New York's doing it. Boston's doing it. Let's see. Washington now is doing it. And I'm sure there's some more states that are doing it. Let's see here. As far as the variants go, obviously it's real. I just think that some of the numbers that they say are made up. Like my state specifically, excuse me. All right, says that they have over 50% vaccinated. All right, it's like 57% vaccinated. But yet we continue to have thousands upon thousands upon thousands of cases. So if you are 57% vaccinated, all right, how is it that you have continuously 5,000, 4,000, 5,000, another 5,000, 3,000, 4,000 cases? It doesn't add up if you're 57% vaccinated. And yet you still got to take into consideration that all the other people that had the virus beforehand. So how is it that you keep getting 5,000, 4,000, 3,000 cases every single day, and yet you still got exactly, that's my point, Dave. That's what I'm saying. You sit there and you have all these people vaccinated, but yet you're still getting more and more cases. Just like in Israel. Israel is supposed to be one of the most vaccinated countries ever. But yet they're on their 4th booster shot now, and yet they're exploding with outbreaks. They're exploding, alright? And to put it in even more perspective, alright, let's look at New York and Florida. New York is one of the top places in America right now with COVID cases, alright? And these are both big states, alright? So they're exploding with cases. And vaccines are required to go in restaurants, entertainment venues, alright? Florida, nothing is required, alright? And they're doing fine. They're doing just fine. LA, exploding. Texas, doing just fine. Both big states. It doesn't add up. If the vaccines worked, we wouldn't need another booster shot, another one. It's going to keep going for your life, alright? Until eventually you die from the complications of this shot. Alright, and I'm not anti, vaccine. If you want to take it, that's completely up to you. But viruses, let's look at this. Alright, back in the day. Alright, let's think about this. Measles, mumps, polio, alright? Let's look at polio as one, alright? So that can cripple you. That can make you paralyzed. Polio can paralyze you. I just want to put that out there. You can be paralyzed, alright? That was one vaccine. One. And it stopped it. It was done, right? Alright, COVID. Something that has like a 98, 99% survival rate. But yeah, you got to have not one shot, not a booster shot, not a second, not a third, but a fourth booster shot to be okay and be able to live your life normally. And now that they got pills out there, and now they're telling you you still gotta wear a mask, maybe even 2 masks regardless of your vaccination status. And to avoid cruise ships, and you gotta wear a mask to be on a plane and take a test, and you got to, prove a negative COVID test, and you gotta be vaccinated. So if you're vaccinated, why would you have to prove a negative test if you're vaccinated? Like, I don't get it. And what people fail to realize is most vaccines that they have, as far as viruses go, they're injecting a little bit of that virus inside of you so that your body can try and fight it. Alright, same thing with the flu. A lot of people said that they have the flu after, or they test positive for the flu after they get the flu shot. And it happened to me twice, 2 years in a row. And it makes sense that, hey, you put this little bit in there so your body can fight it off and that you're immune to it so that you don't get, like, the worst part of the flu that you can get. But yet, I still got the worst part of it. I was sick for a week and I had to miss work for a week each year. So, I don't get that part either. But who's to say they're even doing that with this? We don't know what they're injecting in us. They won't tell us what's in it, so how do we know if it's safe or not? You're just saying, take it, take it, take it, take it. But, okay, well, what's in it? Oh, well, we can't talk about that. Why can't you talk about it? Why won't you tell us what's in it? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And again, Africa's come out and said that the Omicron is not that serious. Alright? They're already over it. A week or two later, they're over it. And they're saying that they saw sore muscles, tiredness, and that was pretty much it. So, what is the big deal of it? Like, it's not that serious. Like, I don't get it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You take the shot and you still get it, so there's no point in taking it. It's all just about control. That's all it is. It is all about control. All about control. Alright, so one other, let's keep going. Alright, let's see here. What's the next story? Because I could talk about this all day long, but there's no point because people are going to do what they want to do regardless. Now, one thing I do want to point out before I move on, Maryland doctor says people are going to die after Biden administration uses faulty data to snub antibody treatments. It's not just this one doctor. It's not just, a doctor here, a doctor there, doctors never heard of. They're doctors everywhere. These are high doctors that, have master's degree in neurological science. These are doctors that have studied medicine their whole life. These are doctors that have been around COVID patients. These are nurses that have worked in the COVID center since this has started. These are ER doctors, ER nurses, people that know what they're doing. And yet they're just getting banned off the internet so that you can't talk about it. I don't know. I don't get it. I really don't. Alright, so, like I said, moving on from that, this is the other story that I was talking about in Portland that I couldn't find, but I want to go back to this now. So, Portland Antifa rider charged with assaulting police officer has case dismissed after 30 hours of community service. So again, 30 hours of community service, and your charge is dismissed. So you can go up there, and Portland is what they're saying now. You go there, hit a cop, and you get 30 hours community service. That's it. Like, I don't know. Before I even go into this, if I was in Portland, whether I was an officer or just a person living there, I would leave. Alright? I would do whatever it took to get out of there. Because law enforcement is leaving in droves. Law enforcement is not respected. They've had riots there for the past year and a half now. Alright, there was 500 something days of riots in Portland. Why? There's no point in it. I don't get it. And these are the same people that want to set up autonomous zones and take over city blocks, not allow the police in there. That's when you know it's time to leave. And then you got Ted Wheeler as your mayor, who's not doing anything about it. He is out there in the riots participating. As you all remember, last year, he was one of the who got pepper sprayed. As a mayor, how are you out there participating in riots that are destroying your city? And then you get pepper sprayed, and then you want to blame the police for it. If you were out there actually trying to do your job as a mayor and not participate in riots that are destroying your city, you wouldn't have got pepper sprayed. Same thing. Now going on, Eva Warner of Beaverton, Oregon, who police said was known as Joshua Warner, was charged in September 2020 a felony civil disorder. So a felony charge now. Alright, a felony. On the evening of August 8th, 2020, authorities declared a riot in the Portland Police Association office on North Lambert Street in Portland after Antifa members broke windows and set fire to the office. The rioters had to also use vehicles and dumpsters to illegally block traffic. That summer, Portland, like many other major cities, facing mass protests that descended into violent rioting in response to the police killing of George Floyd. Alright, Portland police said Warner directed a high-powered laser into the eyes of law enforcement officers trying to disperse the crowd. Warner resisted arrest when the officers used force. Laser pointer was found on her. Warner was booked into custody and charged with intentionally obstructing, impeding, interfering with law enforcement officers engaged in official duties. Now, she was released without bail, which, again, to me, that is not surprising. A lot of people get released on bail, whether it is a PR bond, which is a personal recognition bond, or they're released on some kind of monetary bond. Now let's see here. About a week later, Warner was arrested again. Okay, now again. Charged with second-degree criminal mischief in connection with another riot. Now, it gets better, alright? So, not only did she get charged with all that, a week later she gets arrested again, charged with second-degree criminal mischief, but again, she was released without bail. Alright? But it gets better. A week after that, Warner was arrested a third time in connection with yet another riot and charged with interfering with a peace officer and second-degree disorderly conduct, but, let me guess, she gets released again without bail. Alright? So, imminent federal investigation. U.S. Marshals arrested Warner September 2nd, 2020. In a southeast Portland apartment without incident, Warner appeared in a court before a U.S. Magistrate's Court judge the next day and was later released. Pending further court proceedings, Warner was looking at a maximum 5-year sentence in federal prison if convicted. Alright, Scott Eric, an acting U.S. attorney for the District of Oregon, filed a motion December 21st asking the court to dismiss with prejudice the indictment against Warner in the best interest of justice. The motion noted that the defendant had performed at least 30 hours of community service. Yeah, she performed the 30 hours, or he, whatever, because they didn't want to go to jail and they want to make themselves look better. Yeah, Dave. He definitely did. Yeah, I don't understand it either, Dave. I don't understand how you got 2 felony charges and a bunch of misdemeanor charges, and you get released, and then you get 30 hours community service, and oh, well, it's all good. You got 30 hours community service. I know you assaulted cops, did damage to federal buildings, But it's all good. We'll just give you 30 hours community service, and you'll be able to go on from there. So, next story, is gonna be out of Michigan. Now, y'all all remember the Oxford school shooting. So, Michigan schools to require clear backpacks after deadly shooting. Now, a lot of people have asked me, what are my thoughts on trying to end school shootings? And, a lot of people have brought clear backpack thing. And, could that be an answer? It's a start, yes. But at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to see every single student's backpack. Especially if you really want to do it, you could do it, alright? Let's just say it's a small gun, alright? Let's just say it's cold in the morning time. Alright, you bring a jacket. Or you bring two jackets. Let's say you got hot, you take one off, alright? You wrap it up. Alright, then you take it out, boom. Alright, then you open fire. So, again, is the clear backpack thing foolproof? No. Is it a start? Will it help? Yeah, I think it will help. Do I think it's going to stop it completely? No. But again, this is just one school that's doing this. Alright, this is not the whole state of Michigan. This is just one school that's doing it. Again, I don't think there's no real way to stop it. A lot of people talk about metal detectors. Metal detectors are all fine. But, they're going to have glitches. They're not going to work 100% of the time. And then at that, you got to have an officer standing nearby somewhere. So if a metal detector does go off, you got to have an officer there. Then you have to have all the installation, all the money to do that. So, again, there's no real clear way to stop it, in my personal opinion. It's just something that, as a school district, you have to be monitored. You have to pay attention to your students. As a parent, you have to keep your guns locked up if you have guns. And talk to your kids about mental health and bullying. And the schools, they need to do more about bullying too. I think that is something that needs to be addressed because they don't do enough to stop it. And that's part of the reason why a lot of these school shootings happen is due to bullying, but they don't have anything to stop it with. Exactly, Dave. It's not. There's no clear way to stop it. If these kids want to do this, they're gonna do it. There's just no way to stop it. But at the end of the day, I guess anything is better than nothing. But like I said, bullying is something that has happened since I was in school, probably before I was in school. And the schools don't do anything about it. And that's why they continue to have these problems. So, one other thing is, y'all remember the Black Texas school shooter who was released on bail. Let me pull this story up real quick. Because this story to me is it's sad that race and everything else is being played in this. Alright. So let me pull this. Alright. So Timothy Simkins, alright. If y'all remember him, he was the Black Texas school shooter. Now, I believe he shot 4 people. One was a teacher. So everybody said that he was being bullied and all this, and his life was horrible. Now the police chief came out that same day and said that he wasn't being bullied. He was doing selling drugs and other things at school. So he was released on, I believe, a $75,000 bail after shooting 4 people in his school that he fled from. Now he fled from the school. He went and got an attorney. He turned himself in. But it don't matter. You shot 4 people and then you fled the scene. Alright? It don't matter what you were doing. It don't matter if you were going to get, doctors, EMS. It don't matter if you were going to get police. It don't matter if you were... It don't matter. You fled the scene after you shot 4 people. And it's not of a school. So, not only did you shoot 4 people, and one student is still in the hospital from this, and this was months ago, like a month or 2 ago, and one student is still in the hospital. But again, you caused a whole classroom to be traumatized. Other students that heard the gunshots, they could be traumatized by this. Alright? So, not only did you shoot 4 people, you caused all this. You caused a massive police presence there to evacuate the school and make sure everybody was safe. Like, and then you get a $75,000 bill, alright? And then there's pictures of you when you get home, your family's celebrating, you got a cake out there, you got confetti on the table, they're just celebrating, oh my god, he's a great person, and he's home now. But he gets arrested on drug charges and violating bond. So, he's really not that great, is he? He's not as great as everybody's saying he was. And like I said, I called that out. A bunch of other YouTubers called it out. ABL, Brandon Tatum, me. Everybody called it out. But yet there were still some people out there that were like, oh my god, well, he was being bullied and we need to take that in consideration. He wasn't being bullied. He was selling drugs. And then he was losing a fight. So he was a coward and pulled out a gun and not only shot that person, but shot 3 other people. And on top of that, caused a pregnant lady to fall. She could have lost her kids because of that. But nobody wants to talk about that. Like, I don't get it. Kind of like the black guy in Wisconsin that ran over 60-something people. Nobody wants to talk about that either. Now they're talking about, oh, the car did it. Yeah, no, he did it. He was in control of the vehicle. He did it. The car was not in control of itself. And the car was not empty. Alright? He was in the driver's seat, pushing down the gas, running over 60-something people, ultimately killing 6. Alright? But let's take it even further. People say that he was fleeing from another crime scene. So that makes it better. Let's just say he was fleeing from another crime scene where there was 2 people stabbed. That doesn't make it any better. That makes it worse. That he just did whatever he did there and then he left and came here. But that's not the case anyways. Case is, he sat there for 10 minutes. Like I said, the same day. 10 minutes, alright? I called this out. Everybody called me a liar. But I went beyond what I needed to do. Got the video of him sitting there that the police chief released of him sitting there and then him driving through the crowd. But everybody wanted to call me a liar, but it came out to be true. Like, if you're going to call someone a liar, at least get your facts straight, So, again, he sat there and sat there and sat there and then ran over 60-something people, but nobody wants to talk about that. Now, for people that are just now coming in, one thing I want to go back over again is there are 200 Marines that we lost today due to the mandates. So, this goes for police officers, firefighters, EMS, anybody in the military, nurses, doctors, anybody that plays a vital role in keeping our country going or safe. So, truckers, pretty much everybody, alright? Any job to me is essential, alright? So, but this is mainly going out to the people that's directly affecting right now. So, we lost 200 Marines because they didn't want to take the vaccine mandate. Alright, and we've already lost Army members, Air Force members, we've already lost police officers, we've lost countless numbers of doctors, EMTs, firefighters. So, to all those people out there that are in that service and not getting the mandate, we fully support you not taking this. Again, medical freedom is a big part in America, so we fully support y'all in not taking this. But again, Biden is destroying our country, alright? Without our military, terrorists can just come over here and they're over here. There's nothing. Once they are here in America, there's going to be nothing that we can do. So you had 13 Marines killed. Nothing was said about it. what do? You send a drone strike, alright? You claim you killed one of the top leaders over there. And ultimately what'd you do? You killed 7 innocent children and a innocent man. And it took you not 1 week, not 2 weeks, but 3 weeks to come out and say that you actually did that. And then you didn't apologize, you didn't offer support for that family, you didn't do anything. You just went on about your day like it was nothing, even though you just killed 8 people. And the 13 Marines that you killed, yeah, that's on your hands too. And then you leave all of our equipment over there for them to use, and then they send videos of them burning U.S. American flags. And still, nothing said. Alright? Police officers. Alright? They are out here keeping drugs off the street, keeping people who do crimes against children off the street. They're keeping illegal guns off the street to protect their community, their families, and where they live. But yet you want them to take a shot, and they don't want to take it, so you tell them bye. So that will lead to more gangs, more home break-ins, more car break-ins, more whatever, alright? You want to tell nurses, you don't take the shot, bye, okay? So what are you going to do if you have a heart attack? What are you going to do if you have a broke leg? What are you going to do, if anything, alright? You're going to tell doctors, you don't get the shot, bye, alright? So what if you need surgery, alright? What if it's a life or death situation? What do you, I don't understand this. This is a virus, right? And it is a virus that has a 99% survival rate, but you want to tell military you don't take it by when we already have terrorists burning American flags over there, using our equipment that you decide to leave. You already killed 13 Marines and 8 other people. You want to tell police officers that you don't take it, you're out, so that gangs, criminals, arsonists, people who do crimes against children, whatever, you want to let them roam the streets. And again, you want to tell nurses and doctors bye, you want to tell firefighters bye. So if your house is on fire, what are you going to do? Seriously, what are you going to do? You can't put it out with a water hose. So what are you going to do? And again, the perfect example of this is look at what's going on in Colorado. There's been 600 houses burned due to a wildfire there. So what are you going to do? Just tell them bye? Let your house burn down? Let fires just destroy the world? I don't get it. Same thing with EMS. If you can't get yourself to the hospital, what are you supposed to do? Like I said, what if you break both your legs? What if you're having a heart attack? What if you break both of your arms? How are you going to get there? You need them people to get there. What if you get shot, stabbed? You need those people to get there. And they can't get there if they're all gone, if they're all fired. So, again, I don't understand how stuff like this is even in conversation. This shouldn't even be a conversation. This shouldn't even be a point of interest. But again, if you want to take the shot, take it. If you don't want to take it, you shouldn't be forced to take something that you don't want to take. And now everybody's talking about, well, Trump took it. Okay, so what? Trump took the shot. Okay, big deal. Well, Ron DeSantis, okay, so what? Well, Biden took it. Okay, those are all people. They made up their decision. Joe Biden, Ron DeSantis, Trump, they all made a decision to take the shot. That's their personal choice, alright? I don't care who took it. It doesn't mean I have to, or it doesn't mean y'all have to. It's a personal choice. Yeah, exactly, Dave. Honestly, America's gonna be taken over by one of these people or one of these countries because of Joe Biden. That's exactly what it's gonna be. And he doesn't care. He really don't care. And again, if I guarantee you, if a Republican or if Trump was up there and all this stuff had happened, they would have impeached him so many times until he was actually out of office. There's no way he would still be in there. But again, I don't get it. Now, Again, this shouldn't even be a point of conversation in America. It really shouldn't. Now, one thing that I want to wrap up with is these two officers that were killed in Illinois. Now, Sean Riley, he was killed, and Marlene Riddick was also killed. Now, I'm going to go through their story real quick and put their information out there so that hopefully these two people, or these people, I'm not exactly sure if it's two, but so these people can be brought to justice and these officers' families can get some kind of justice. So, a suspected gunman linked to Wednesday death of an Illinois sheriff deputy and a carjacking in which the victim was shot was arrested. Okay, so one person has been arrested. Alright, so one of them has been arrested, which is good. Let's see here. Unless this is something different that just recently happened. Alright, so let's see here. Alright, so Sean Riley's killer has been arrested. So Deputy Sean Riley was shot and killed after responding to and assist a motorist near mile marker 115 on I-64 around 5 a.m. Another officer responding to back him up found him suffering from a fatal gunshot wounds and his patrol car was missing. The subject later abandoned the missing car on I-64, fleeing to St. Peters, Missouri, where he carjacked and shot a citizen. The man then abandoned that vehicle before stealing another and returning to Illinois. He was taken into custody in the early afternoon. Now, Deputy Riley is survived by his wife and 3 children. Alright, so going on to the next officer. This is Sergeant Marlene Riddick. Now, she was shot and killed as she and another officer investigated a noise complaint at the Comfort Inn, which is a hotel, at 1500 Illinois. The officers had responded to the motel at approximately 9:30 to investigate reports of barking dogs that were left unattended in a vehicle. They located the room where the vehicle's owner was staying and then contacted the occupants. During the encounter, the occupants attacked and shot both officers, shooting and killing Sergeant Riddick. The other officer suffered a serious gunshot wound to the head. The occupants fled the motel and remain at large. Now, she has served with the Raleigh Police Department for 14 years. She is survived by her wife. So, again, the other officer was shot in the head. So, the fact that he's even still alive at this point is, I mean, it's good that he's alive, but it's also, one of those things that, kind of like by the grace of God that he is still alive. So, I'll be praying for his recovery. But again, I just wanted to wrap it up there. Like I said, y'all know I try to upload at least once a day, if not every other day, or try to do a live stream every other day. Like I said, I've been gone for a couple days. Like I said, life happens. I've been busy. But like I said, I'll keep y'all updated on everything. Whether it's, shootings, COVID, presidents, whatever case may be. And like I said, I try to keep y'all updated on the weather because like I said, I know some of y'all do rely on me just for weather related stuff. So I will kind of keep y'all updated on that also. But in the meantime, as always, thank y'all for watching. If y'all are watching this later, thank y'all for watching. For those of y'all that are here now, thank y'all for watching. As always, stay safe. And y'all stay safe out there.